Do you ever take time to look at world records? It's really amazing what some people have been able to do. Take, for example, Budimir Sabat, who held his breath underwater for over 24 and a half minutes. That's as long as a TV show. Or look at Javier Sotomayor from Cuba. He jumped without a trampoline or anything, and he got his whole body over 8 feet in the air. That's higher than the ceiling in most houses. And then there's Ofek Sneer, who juggled 5 balls without dropping any of them for over 2 hours and 41 minutes. That's like watching the Avengers movie and still having time to watch a TV show afterwards. These records are pretty amazing, but they didn't happen by accident. They didn't happen by trying just one time. Every one of those records took planning, training, and a lot of self-discipline over a long period. And it took long-term goals. Having long-term goals is planning and working towards good things that take a long time to achieve. Long-term goals are powerful because they help you to keep moving towards something big that you want to do in your life. Without long-term goals, you just react to whatever shows up in your life rather than working towards something really important on purpose. Long-term goals help you keep focused, and they help you plan for what really matters. Maybe you've thought, I don't need to think about the future, I can just trust God. And while trusting God is one of the best things you can do in your life, God tells us that it's good to plan ahead for the future. Setting goals and working towards them is a part of having self-discipline. Proverbs 6 says, "You lazy people, you should watch what the ants do and learn from them. Ants have no ruler, no boss, and no leader. But in the summer, ants gather all of their food and save it. So when winter comes, there's plenty to eat." It shows wisdom and maturity to think about what you need to do now in order to prepare for a better future. Ants show wisdom by gathering food for later. And did you know that ants are the only animal we know of that act as farmers to produce food that they use? The leafcutter ants love eating a specific kind of fungus, so they cut and bring leaves to build the garden for the fungus to grow on. And just like people have dairy farms to get milk from cows, some ants find aphids, which are small bugs, and they herd them just like their own cattle because of the honeydew liquid that they produce as food for the ants. Think of a long-term goal as a destination, somewhere that you'd like to get to. When you're planning a trip, you start with where you want to go, and that helps you find the best route to take so that you don't get lost or waste resources like your time, your money, and your energy. What destination do you want to arrive at the end of this year? In order to reach your goal, what people do you need help from? What new things do you need to learn? What tools do you need to get? And what about in 5 or 10 years? What about the rest of your life? If it's true that the wiser you are, the farther ahead you think, then isn't the wisest person the one who thinks about eternity? 1 Corinthians 4 says, "For our present troubles are small and won't last very long." When you compare it to eternity, whatever we face on earth is very short. Yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles we can see now. Rather, we fix our gaze on the things that cannot be seen, like God and His plans. For the things we see now will soon be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever. You might not understand it yet, but God has great plans for your life. Plans that make a difference for eternity. I want to encourage you to think about those goals and talk with God about the long-term goals for your life. Ask God what goals would be good for your life. The purposes that God has for your life are far more exciting and valuable than anything you can come up with on your own. Proverbs 19:21 says, "Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it's the purpose of the Lord that will stand." And when you're working with God for His purposes, there's a promise for you. 2 Chronicles 15:7 says, "But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." Set some big goals for your life and follow God with all your heart. And along the way, remember to keep fueling yourself with God's love and truth.